Hello everybody, welcome to the channel where we build it, we don't buy it. We're going to talk a little bit about the problems I ran into with the power here when I first started the trailer. A couple of issues I found, no big things, but just a couple little things. And I didn't film this when I was doing it. I'm still learning all this YouTube stuff. My son said I need to be more personable to the camera, interact more, so I'm going to try to add these little snippets in from time to time, and putting more text in the video, trying to explain a few more things, because it's like he said, I've been doing this my whole life. I know how to do this stuff. I don't explain it. And feel free, please ask anything you want to ask about how I did something, or why I did it, or what I did, and I'd be happy to answer it. It might take me a day or two to get to it. I'm not on here. I'm not on the page every day looking at stuff, but I will see it. So I hope you enjoy it. All right, working on this horse trailer. Got a little something I want to show you. They had somebody come in and do some wiring for them before they put the ceiling up. You can see the wires hanging down for the lights. I've been trying to figure out what's going on. They had this number 10 wire coming up and over. I gotta check it too. To the power. Well, I need a number 10 going to the air conditioner. So I undone it right there. We're gonna go around the bottom after the framing's done. After all the furnace strips are up, right before we put the siding on. So what we got here is you can see where I did this. All right, I didn't like it rubbing, so I'm gonna make sure when I put this up that it's not touching and it's not gonna rub. I'm gonna even wrap this wire right here with some type of some of that snake skin wire loom. Might try to get some real heavy shrink tubing, and but let me show you why. Let me set you up on a tripod so I can have both hands. All right, I see on a lot of these forums and Facebook pages, I see a lot of people talk about how to build stuff and how to run power, and they've never done it in their life. They've never had real world experience. So I'm gonna show you a real world experience. All right, I just got through talking to Kelly, the lady that owns the trailer. She was here, dropped off a few things, and I was going over some of this stuff. And she was talking about how she saw on here how to run all the furnace strips. And I guess it would have worked if you was gonna put like a full sheets of Luan or paneling up, something like that. She wanted the like a 6-inch wide shiplap going all the way, horizontal. So the way she had the furnace strips horizontal, it wouldn't have worked. It was going to be way more work. They were different, a little bit different. They wasn't exactly on centers. In other words, I couldn't have cut a board and had it on each end to touch a furnace strip to make it look right. So, and that's some of my OCD keeps me in. But so what we're going to do is, we're getting ready to put in the vertical. We're going to run the furnace strips vertical, and then we can run the shiplap horizontal. And you always, like if you're going to put, you have to do your framing on a house or a barn or whatever, storage building. All your framing is vertical. And if you're going to put metal siding vertical on the outside, you got to come in on all the outside with horizontal strips for that to go against and look right. Otherwise, you would be it won't never look right. It does not. It fit and finishes real well. So they were going by what they seen on the internet. All these different ways, different things that they can be done. So they ran the power after they ran insulation, before they put up the furnace strips and the ceiling. You can see the ceiling is already up. Uh-oh. You can see it's already up. And so this wire right here it goes through the ceiling all the way over to right. Let me get this tripod over to right there. Okay, comes in. You can see where they labeled it power in, which she had somebody else do this for her. The wire, pull up the wire part. Now I still got to figure out what the other 2 wires are, how they go, because every one of them are doubled out like this. So there's not 2 separate ends, if that makes sense. There's gonna be 5 lights in here. So I gotta figure out what they did with that too. But let me show you why you don't run the wires before you put all that in. Alright, so I got the wire strip, insulation pulled back, get some exposed wire. Now, if you know how a multimeter works, if you don't know how a multimeter works, you don't need to be doing wiring, and that's my opinion. I've been doing power, plumbing, carpentry my whole life. Okay, when you touch these 2 ends together, hear that beeping? All right, that means that's one way to find the ends of the wires. And you also, even when you do it right, when you pull your wires after all the framing's done, before they do sheetrock in a house or your siding, whatever. Most people that do that work, they see all the wiring and they know to stay away from it. So here's what happens. You can also see the numbers. So you go from, let's just say you pick a wire, white to black. White's your neutral, black's your hot. Alright, nothing. It never changes numbers on the screen, okay? Ground is your bare copper to black, nothing. It's just the way it's supposed to be. White to ground, white, which is neutral, to ground, that's not how it's supposed to be. You should have nothing. So that's continuity. That means you got a screw through one of them somewhere. There's no way to figure out where it's at. So, here's your fits. Only way I know to do it without taking the ceiling down. You can't use it. It's no good. I got to cut it out over there. Alright, so that presents a problem. If you don't know wiring and if you don't know really what you're doing, if you don't check that kind of stuff, when you go to hook the power up, you can go to turn that breaker on, it's going to trip every time. It's a direct to ground short. True, neutral and ground is basically the same thing. I've seen it wired up the same way, basically in your cabinet, in your breaker box cabinet, especially in your house. You can go look. Most of the time, you got a strip on one side for neutral and one side for ground. You're screwed into the same housing of the cabinet itself, that holds the breakers now. You can run continuity between them. 9 times out of 10, they're connected. Some codes, some different places, they want it to be separate. And yeah, true, sure, you're supposed to do it separate. Some people do it together. Where your problem comes in is that some campgrounds, some generators can give you issues. You can have flickers in your lights. You can have, if you ever have like a lightning strike close by, it might present more of a likelihood to short something out. It really depends. It's more or less these new LED lights. The lights that these come with a big old control box. They go up. It's going to have to be shoved into the ceiling, and that controls it. And I have seen some funny things sometimes, some stuff like that. So, to be safe, to do it the right way, we're going to run a wire around the back. I'm creating a channel at the bottom, run wiring around to this wall, around to the microwave plug, refrigerator plug, for the power in, coming from your actual Shoreline plug. Got the little waterproof flip cover. From it to here will be around the base. Basically, if you have to get to it, all you got to do is take off the bottom board and you're to it. Now, do you have to get to it? No, not likely. Most likely, you're never gonna have a problem with it. Doing it this way. But that's being put in after all the framing's done. So I have no risk whatsoever of putting a screw through the any of the wires. I'm leaving a 1.5 inch channel around this way to the Shoreline plug. So now I got to run power. All right, I lost track of where I was at, but we're going to go ahead and check the number 10 wire I'm going to put for the air conditioner. Just make sure that it's not grounded out, basically, screw through it. So, let's see what we got. We're good. So we're going to use number 10 for the air conditioner. We're going to run a wire to the front cap for plugs in the front cap. We're going to run wire for the plug for the refrigerator, microwave, a plug in the benches, and we're going to run one for a plug right over here. Okay, let's talk about load. Everybody says, oh, you can't have that many plugs on a 30 amp service. True. How often do you use every plug in a camper slash storage building, something of that sort? Very rarely. Alright, so I'm sitting here editing this video. I lost some video somehow. I don't know how. So here's the end of it. Talking about the power, load. Yeah, I'm putting several plugs in it. It's more for access and ease of use. The breaker box is a 12 circuit breaker box with 6 spaces, and you get the double switch breakers, so you get 12 circuits. I'm only going to use one of them for a single breaker, which is the 30 amp input. So it don't matter how much you got, load. You can, each breaker is 15 amps for the most part. I think I got a 20 for the air conditioner and a 20 for the microwave, because it is a 1,000 watt microwave in there. 15 was going to be pushing it, and I know that by the numbers, and I hadn't decided for sure, but probably a 20 amp on the, because it's a double 20 amp breaker. So I have a 20 amp for the air conditioner, one side of it, 20 amp for the microwave. Because even if you wind up running the air conditioner and the microwave at the same time, most likely if they're already running, it's not going to trip the breaker. If they're both trying to start at the same time, then you might have a problem. But other than that, there's not much to worry about. It's going to trip that 30 amp breaker and everything's safe. So we're going to probably wrap this up right about now. I'm going to start editing on my next one. Of course, this video was shot back in September, about September 17th weekend, thereabouts. So I'm just trying to get caught up, still working on it. It's getting close to being done now. I'm doing all the cabinetry now. I'm getting real close to having all of it done. So that's kind of where we're at. And hopefully get the next one out pretty soon, sooner than this. I know this took me a little over a week to get this one done, but just life, man. It's just busy. All right, and until next time, build it, don't buy it.